tried you? Have I said anything negative about you?
Don't get in my motherfucking face. Don't get in my motherfucking face. I don't know what you think you are. Don't get in my face.
Don't get in her face. I was like,
in the morning when the sun starts to rise, so mama don't stress your mind.
Thank you for tuning into my channel. It's your girl Nesha here, back with another video, y'all. So today's video is my review recap of Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 2, Episode 2. Alright, but before I get started, I want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. What up to all of my oldies? I love having you guys here. Thank you so much for the support. You love and liking, commenting, sharing my videos. It really means the world to me. So as long as you guys are doing it, I will continue releasing, okay? All right, y'all. So we start this episode off at Trick Daddy's house with his son, Jaden, and Gunplay. Gunplay has came over because he hasn't had a home-cooked meal since Kiara been at the house, and we don't know how long that's been because she says she about done with his stuff. Okay, and we also found out that Jaden has been nominated as a student scholar in the state of Tennessee. So kudos to you, Jaden. Gunplay tells us that his son has also been nominated. Nowadays, if you don't have your pants hanging to your ankles, 3 or 4 baby mamas, then lost your virginity, gang banging, robbing. If you ain't doing all of that stuff, you ain't considered cool. So to see that they're actually valuing their education. We talk about that. We talk about the Diamond Princess and his TNT project. He's like, look, everybody around her treating her like the princess, and I'm about sick of it. And I'm like, well, at least she living up to her name. You don't gotta roll with it 100%, but at least put in the effort and then kind of persuade her to do what it is that you want to do. But, you know, put in the effort, because at this point, you ain't even went to the studio and just hummed. Like, you ain't did nothing. You just been here avoiding her. Okay, guys, so now we're with Spectacular, Lil Fizz, and Ray J. He came here to get a little advice or whatever. But what I found interesting about Mr. Spectacular is that he has been advertising something called Advisor on his hat, on his shirt, and I was like, what the heck is that? Because usually they'll blur out whatever the wording is because they're not going to promote it, right? But I noticed he was doing some shameless self-promo. So I went and did a little research to figure out what it is, and he is actually one of 5, I think, music artists that actually went from the music industry to the tech industry. And so he is the founder and CEO of a social media growth company called Advisor, which is what he had been promoting. And then he's also in real estate, crypto investor, keynote speaker, television personality, and a best-selling author. When I tell you homeboy has money coint coming in, that is so freaking cool, because I was watching another YouTuber, her Breaking Brown, what's her? Yvette Carnell. And y'all, if you don't watch her, you need to go watch her. She's all about, you know, just talking about things that happen within our culture and stuff like that. But she was talking about how these rappers, specifically she was talking about the R. Kelly story and these young ladies, and how they literally saw dollar signs and the opportunity. They didn't care what it came with. And it sucks because a lot of the times in the music industry, you see the drip. You see how they're looking and stuff like that. The cars they're driving. You see the houses that they're staying in, the ladies, the bottles, like everything around them. And that's what they put their money into. But they have no real wealth. And so to see that this young man has decided to take the money that he had and invest in something that's greater, that will take care of his kids when they get older, like, it's really cool, y'all. Anyway, we're here to get advice on the boy group, and he's also getting a little business advice. And then we also talk about his engagement. He's engaged to, I think her name is Jamie, and so they're engaged or whatever, and he talks about, he's like, yeah, you know, we have our issues or whatever, and Ray J tells him, look, if it's worth fighting for, fight for it. Then we also talk about the guys that Pleasure and Blue. They just keep freaking fighting. They can't get it together ever since Cincinnati. But I honestly feel like there's some deeper issues going on. But anyway, so they just can't get it together. So they come up with the solution to have another meeting and to be able to sit down, hash it out, and try to salvage the group. We talk about his dad, which was, I believe, the manager. And so he's like, you know, my dad was never really my dad because he was more focused on managing us. And it's sad that that broke up the family, because he mentions that when Pretty Ricky is not right, the family is not right. So in order to get the family together, we got to get Pretty Ricky together. It's sad, y'all. Baffled the hell out of me that y'all would allow the industry and money to break up the family like that. But it is where they are living. I mean, it's what situation they're dealing with right now. And so I was like, yeah. Bobby Light and Prince, who are rehearsing for no show in particular, just for whenever the opportunity arises that they would be ready. And so JoJo comes in a little later, but she's a little pissed off. And she's pissed off because she's like, look, why did Miami Tip, why does she, you know, call herself confronting me about the fact that I am being a fake friend to you? Like, I don't feel like I'm being a fake friend. And he's like, yeah, you know, I did confide in her and I talked to her. And then she's like, but look, it wasn't even, you know, it wasn't even like that. Because remember, she went and told Bobby Light that she could not trust him. That was based off of what Amara La Negra said, that she couldn't trust him. So then all of a sudden, JoJo can't trust him. And then she also went further to say, and I don't think you should trust Prince because he may be using you. So Bobby Light confided in Miami Tip, who then told her, JoJo, what he said. So it was just basically a bunch of this. But what Miami Tip was trying to get her to understand was there was no loyalty there. Like, you don't have loyalty to Prince, and you dang sure didn't have loyalty to Bobby Light. And so that's all that drama right there. So she was already feeling some type of way. So then Prince is standing there like, look, you know, I already get this backlash from social media because they feel like I'm gay and I shouldn't be his friend and all that type. Like, why does it have to be this hard? And I'm like, look, I actually think you're starting to catch feelings, Prince. I need you to stop. Okay, we heard last episode about how social media has been dragging you. I'm really starting to think you catching feelings, especially after this scene. So I need you to shut up and have several seats. He's standing, now mind you, they like 5 feet away from each other, and he's talking to her, but he's a little heated. He didn't get closer in, but he's talking to her. He's like, look, you know, like, we were close. And she's like, no, we not close. Like, we never been close. He's like, what? I've been knowing you for 10 years. What you mean we're not close? And when he leans in, she considers that as him, or she took that as him getting in her face. And I'm like, girl, you 5 feet away from him. He's not in your damn face. So anyway, that's how she considered it. So then she walks up on him. Mind you, she said he was in her face, but you had to walk up on him. Okay, make that make sense. So she walks up on him and she pushes the boy. He gets mad. He starts becoming irate. He walks off. He dropping clothes. He runs. He sprints out of the damn studio. And for what, I don't know where the hell he was going. As he's running, he's literally throwing clothes off. So then he says, why am I even mad right now? Like, why am I even mad? And Bobby Light is like, I don't even understand what's going on. JoJo is like, damn, men are starting to act, I think she said men are starting to act like bitches or some shit like that. All right, y'all, listen. It was either 1 or 2 things with this scene. Well, actually, could be possibly 3. Either you really didn't want to hurt that girl because she had put her damn hands on you, so the only thing you think of was run, or you, she was lying on you and you really felt some type of way. You was really getting emotional, like, no, bitch, you lying, and you know no other thing to do but to run. Or you are starting to catch feelings for Bobby Light and you didn't know how to express yourself, so that's when you ran. That's why you ran. It was 1 of the 3 things. Because I couldn't understand why you running and you stripping out of your clothes the whole time. It just didn't make sense. You was being a little bit too extra, y'all. I'm just going to say this. I won't be surprised if he comes out and says that he likes boys. I'm not going to even judge you if you do. All right, y'all. So now we are with Miami Tip. She's on her way to get her hair done by Chaotic's cousin, Quay. Somewhere. Now, what's interesting about this scene is that I was like, well, do homegirl got a license? Because she doing your hair in her living room. I really hope she got a license because this is broadcast on national television. I hate for her to get in trouble. But anyway, y'all, so we there, and he talks about the fact that he was shot 17 times. He is actually lucky to be alive. You really are. He talks about the fact that he was without his dad, and so that's why he put so much, you know, effort into his music, you know, trying to make something of himself. We also talked about the fact that he actually likes Joy. And so she, Miami Tip invited him to, no, he's going to be performing. So she invited Joy to come to his performance at Trina's house. And she's with her new boo, which is Ray. Apparently her and Ray used to be best friends, and now they lovers. And so they done moved together. And he's talking about the Take It to the House performance. We talk about the TNT project and how she needs to reach out to Trick Daddy before just walking away from it, because she planned on just letting it all go and working on her own project, which I think she should do. I mean, don't allow nobody else to hold up your greatness because they can't get it together or they don't want to get it together. You know what I mean? So anyway, her boyfriend tells her, you know, just give him another chance, reach out to him, try to make it work before you actually just walk away from it for good. So now we're with Amara La Negra and JoJo, and we're here because Mama La Negra done got her life, honey. She's healing better and she doesn't need Amara there all the time. So go and do you. So while she's out there and getting a little dance on, they decide to sit down and have a girls talk. And while they're talking, we talk about the rehearsal, how JoJo pushed the boy, pushed Prince. And she says, yeah, girl, he got in my face. He got in your face. What did you do? No, he did not get in that girl's face. She going around telling all these damn lies, girl. Stop with the shenanigans. That boy didn't get in your face. But we also talk about the fact that Jessie Woo at the Sister Talk Live talked about Amara La Negra, saying that, you know, she told my boyfriend, have you ever cheated on me? You know the whole spiel. I think I talked about it last week. We also talk about the fact that Miami Tip called her a little messy, little fake thing, because, boo, you going from Bobby Light to Prince, and you basically tell them not to trust each other. That is very, very messy. So we talk about that, and then she says, you know what, regarding this Jessie Woo thing, I think we should call a meeting with her just so that you can see a better side of her, because she's actually a cool person. Like, Amara, you really need to give her a chance. And then Amara's like, look, if I wake up and I'm feeling petty that day, then I'll go ahead and call that meeting. How about that? Miami Tip has a podcast called Tipsy Tuesdays, and so Jessie Woo and her sister, I think her name is Joni or something like that. So we talk about the fact that Jessie Woo is a singer. We talk about her Instagram comedy show thing that she has. We talk about the fact that she let go of her manager because he was going back and feeding Amara La Negra the ideas that she had, which was that whole Sister Talk Live situation. So he goes back and tells Amara La Negra about it. Then she comes up with Booze and Talk, which is basically a similar idea, which pissed Jessie Woo off. On top of the fact that Jessie Woo says that her ex-boyfriend is saying that Amara La Negra tried to come on to him, asking him about have he ever cheated on her, would he ever cheat, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that was her coming on to him. I think she was probably just curious and asked. She seemed like the person that would ask whatever came to her dang head. So she tells Miami Tip about the fact, or she tells Miami Tip that JoJo has invited her to come out and to have drinks, so she's going to attend that meeting. We are at Blue's house. Spectacular has took a private jet to come there, and he's trying to get the group back together. He wants to call this meeting, okay? And so while he's there, we talk about the fact that, you know, he hasn't talked to his dad. His dad doesn't know that he's getting married. He doesn't even know if he's going to invite his dad to the wedding. Mama Blue starts crying because she feels like, you know, the whole group has been broken up and she just wants them all to be the same, you know, and have that same fire that they had when they were younger and performing in front of her in the kitchen. You know, she just want to have that same, she wants them to have that same spark and ambition when it comes to the group, because right now they're all torn apart ever since the whole Cincinnati event. She feels like the Spectacular's fiance took him from her because he upped and moved to LA, and she's like, look, it was all his idea. He wanted to move to LA, and then Mama Blue is like, but look, you told me, and he didn't even get a chance to tell me. And that really hurt me because I felt abandoned. And so then she starts crying a little bit more, and she's like, look, I apologize, but I assumed he had already told you. I understand where Mama Blue is coming from. You know, how the hell you gonna be the one to tell me that my son is getting ready to move to another state? But I also think that she don't need to hold on to that. That's nothing to hold on to with us. Like how you're holding on to it as if it's like life or death right now. It really isn't. He decided to do something better for his company and for his family and his future. And you can't be mad at your son for doing something like that. Now, if she came in and she's actually controlling him and forcing him to do stuff, then that's another thing. But to say that you felt abandoned and you blame her and you really didn't have a true reason to blame her, because what you're blaming her for isn't even her fault, like that just didn't make any sense to me. But Blue is open to the idea of having a meeting with the rest of the guys. So now we're with Miami Tip at Chaotic's performance. She invited Joy to come, also Bobby Light and Prince. Joy asked Bobby Light and Prince what's going on with them, and then they get talking about the whole thing that happened at the studio where old girls say he ran up on her and he really didn't even go up. Like he wasn't in her face like she's claiming that he was in her face. And it was just all crazy or whatever. But it seemed like they were able to make up. But then Chaotic comes off stage and he's just thoroughly impressed because he really loves Joy and he wants her to give him a chance. But she's like, boy, I am done with y'all rappers. And so we, I think, was it Prince? He starts talking about the fact that now he wants to get out of promotions and he want to get into rapping or whatever. I think he's a rapper or maybe he's a singer, whatever. So then he's talking and then he's trying to be all professional. He's like, I want to be a creator. Like, I'm not a artist, I'm a creator. And then Chaotic busts out laughing because it's like, literally, dude, what he's trying to say is, I don't want to just be known as an artist. I want to be known as a person that brings more to his art. A creator. Now we are at the Pretty Ricky meeting that Spectacular decided to call because he's trying to get the boys back together, okay? So let me start out by saying Blue scares the hell out of me the way that he stares at people, because if looks could kill, Pleasure P will be one dead individual. Okay, I'm just going to start off by saying that. Now, apparently, this all started at a Cincinnati event where Slickum had got into it with one of Blue's goons, who at that time, I just wasn't playing no games. And, but Slickum can't remember shit that happened because he was out of it that night. All he remembered doing is waking up handcuffed with butt naked, okay? But Pleasure P took up for Slickum. And so that's how the dude, the goons, and Pleasure P end up arguing. But apparently they didn't end up in an actual fight, okay? But I don't know. Y'all can correct me down below. But apparently they didn't end up in a fight. And Blue says, you know, I looked out for you because you still here. And he's like, what the hell you mean I'm still here? But when he said that about the, you lucky you're still here or you're still alive, aren't you? I'm like, so you was about to let your goon kill your band member? Like, it was that serious? That why would you threaten him like that? I'm like, what? So that happens. Pleasure P gets up, he walks out, Spectacular comes back, you know, he's the glue of this whole thing. He's talking to him, he talks him into coming back in. Then Blue says, you know, I really love you, dude. And I'm like, Blue, you have a funny way of showing that you love somebody, because first of all, you're staring at this man like you want to kill him now, and then you tell the man that he's lucky to be alive because that could have went wrong. I'm like, come on, man, tame your bulldogs. Just tame them and we wouldn't even be here. But we leave this meeting with deciding to give it another try. So now we're with Trick Daddy and Trina, and we're talking about this damn TNT album again. And he's like, look, man, I don't want to do that whole girlish type music, you know, that, oh, I'm in love music. She's like, yeah, but, you know, all of them are not like that, and you did too, and the people like the music that you did. And he's like, look, man, I ain't even really into that, but whatever. She's like, look, the label is even, they're not focused on it anymore. Like, they're not calling me about the photo shoots and the promo tours. Like, they don't even care anymore because you're not, like, you're dragging your feet on this. You haven't even went into the studio. Like I said, he ain't even hummed on the track. Like, he just been avoiding this whole situation. I really don't think he want to do music with Trina anymore. I mean, that's just the harsh reality of it. Because what other excuse do you have? I mean, what other reason would he have of not to do it? You know, you keep saying that she's all Hollywood and she keeps being this glamour and she's acting like a diamond princess. And I can see if she's trying to dominate the whole album and make it like a girly type thing, and that's one thing. But she's actually trying to compromise with you. But you're not even going in the studio to even hear her out. So it just baffles me. But then somebody walk up looking like Floyd Mayweather. And so he's like, yeah, this is my dude right here. He be having the hookup. That pisses her off to where she's like, you know what, Trick, forget this. Forget TNT. You can just be Trina you can be Trina and Trick. And so then she leaves. Do I feel bad for Trina? Kinda, because she keeps trying to she keeps trying to make this work for the fans. But another part of me is like, this is your sign to leave it alone and go and do your own thing. You don't need Trick Daddy to be great. Focus on your own craft. If that's the type of music, the little girly, I'm in love type music, if that's what you want to release, then release it on your own track. You know, obviously he don't want to do that type of music. And instead of him hurting your feelings, he just keeps avoiding you. We're at this meeting with Jessie Woo, Amara La Negra, and JoJo. Before Amara walks up, the energy is cool, kiki, having a good old time, child. But then when Amara comes up, it seemed like Jessie Woo just became like pissed, agitated, annoyed, don't want this bitch here. And I'm like, well, why would you even show up? Like, the whole purpose, I'm sure JoJo explained it, was so that y'all could get a better understanding, because she's better than what your boyfriend tried to make her out to be. You know, she's not trying to come for your man. But instead of you trying to give the situation an opportunity to kind of unwind, you decided to just start off bitchy. And I was like, well, damn. Okay, well, we see how this is going to go. So then Amara says, okay, I would like you to fill me in on what's going on. So then Jessie Woo tells her, well, yo, my man said that you were asking him, or no, my boyfriend at the time. Let me make sure I throw that in there. Because you're not even with him right now. So you're doing all of this, and y'all not even together. So this makes you look really stupid, Jessie Woo. I'm just saying, boo-boo. But anyway, so she starts off and she's like, well, first of all, when you were talking with my man, I felt like it was disrespectful that you were asking him, you know, have you ever cheated on me? Would he cheat on me? How long we been together? I just feel like the next question you were going to ask him was, could you ride his D? And then she was like, wait, what? And then JoJo said, oh, hold on, you're getting disrespectful, like you're getting hostile right now. And so then she's like, no, like I'm serious, because, you know, I don't understand why you would be asking those type of questions. Now, like I said earlier, Amara comes off to me as the type of person that just asks whatever the hell come to her head. She doesn't have no hidden agenda. She's not trying to get your boo. I just think she was just curious. Maybe she just wanted to know that day. But for you to be thinking like, why are you that insecure that you feel like your man could just be taken like that? So then JoJo, she starts feeling some sort of way. But why does it seem like every time Amara is around or Amara tells her something, she like pounces on it and it becomes her? Like, first of all, why did you have an issue? You just said before Amara came up that you were cool with Jessie Woo and that y'all, kiki. But then you the first one to turn on her, because Amara kept it classy the whole time. But then you decided to throw a drink on the girl that you said was your friend, the one that was really cool. I thought that was odd. And not only that, your scary ass throw the drink and then you turn so that way she can't get the drink, like she can't get you back. Like, what type of shit is that? So then she's throwing drinks on you, and then Amara is sitting here like, really? Like this is what we doing? And then Jessie Woo throws something at her. I'm like, but she didn't do anything to you, so what was the point? Like, are we losing class now? But anyway, that's how the episode ends. Go ahead and get into the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with the bell so you're notified every time that I release. And until next time.
Yeah, low key and maybe high key. I been peeped that you like.